Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Jay's Beer Review. As you can see, I'm dressed up as Papa Smurf, which only means that it's right around Halloween time. Today at my job, our whole department set up a whole Smurf village, and the boss was Gargamel and all the associates were Smurfs, and I got elected to be Papa Smurf. So that's why I look the way I do today in honor of the Halloween festive time of the year. That being said, I figured why not, since I'm already dressed up, do a beer review in my Papa Smurf outfit. And the beer I'm doing today is Maduro, Cigar City's Maduro Brown Ale. Now, Cigar City is a brewery out of Tampa, Florida. And this beer here weighs in at 5.5% alcohol by volume. Now, traditionally, I am not a fan of brown ales. I think there's maybe like one or two that I've come across in my lifetime that I really enjoyed. There's been some that I thought were okay, but still nothing has really blown me away, except for a gentleman who made his very own homebrew, which may have been the best brown ale I ever had, but I would hardly call that a brown ale because there was so much body to it and it was really rich. And that's what I'm looking for in a brown ale. I wish I could find a brown ale that was more rich and more full-bodied, and maybe this will do it. Because basically what I've been told is by a lot of my fans that watch videos, they say, if you ever get a chance to try the Cigar City Maduro Brown Ale, give that a try, because if you're going to like a brown ale, that's the one you're going to like. And I tend to do like beers from Cigar City, except for when they go over the top. So I am hoping that maybe this will be the brown ale that I like, because apparently this is like the mecca of brown ale. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but based on what I've heard. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and break into this. Now the glass I'm going to use is my Newcastle Brown Ale Schooner glass. I figured since Newcastle is a brown ale, why not use the same glass? So with that said, let's give it a whirl. All right. With a nice even steady pour, we got ourselves a nice full beer here. For starters, the carbonation on this is extremely high. I mean, there's so much carbonation just sitting on the side of the glass that I'll make sure I show. The color is definitely like a color of brown. Almost reminds me of like what a soda would look like. There's definitely some transparency towards the bottom, and you can actually see a little bit through it. There is some, there is enough darkness that it's not completely transparent, but there's enough that you can see through. And we got about a one Smurf finger head here that's also on the brown side. That just looks sudsy and looks like will die away pretty quickly. Here you can see all that carbonation. So, the aroma, which may be difficult today. Oh, I can still smell it through this honker I got here. It does have like a coffee-like aroma to it. Much more on the coffee side than maybe I was expecting. A lot of times these brown ales are just like a sweetness to them, but this has got a nice coffee aroma. It also smells kind of spicy, like a little hop note to it. I guess we're going to find out when we give it a try. So cheers. Yeah, for the people out there who said that to give the Maduro Brown Ale a try, and that will be the brown ale that I like, they're right on. Already in that initial sip, I can already tell there's just so much more to this beer than your typical brown ale. First off, the flavor is very rich on the tongue. It's a lot more full-bodied and full-flavored, which is what I like. A lot of times these brown ales are a little thin on the palate, and I don't like that. This is nice and rich, and it almost leaves like a residue or stickiness in the tongue. Also, there's a really nice dark roasted malt going on. There's a nice coffee flavor and even chocolate. So I'm getting like a combination of like some smoke, some dark roast, some coffee and chocolate. All types of complexities to the beer. That's very flavorful. There's also even like a little touch of like bitterness that's in the back of the palate, which is kind of nice because it also makes it kind of balanced, so it's not overly malty. Really nice beer here. Really well done, and most importantly, I really want to comment on the full flavor that you're getting. It's almost like a porter. It's so rich. Yeah, I can tell right already that I'm going to really enjoy this from start to finish. I really like that smoky flavor and that dark roasted malt that it's really bringing with those chocolate and coffee notes. Excellent job here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this and get back to you in a little while. All right, well, I'm back, and as you can see, I have just a little bit of beer here left. For starters, that head did dissipate like I said it would. It left nothing, but it didn't hurt the overall enjoyability about the beer. Again, like I said, what I liked about it was a little bit more full body than the brown ale that I'm traditionally used to. There was a nice smokiness on the beer. There was a nice chocolate flavor, even some notes of coffee, and some dark roasted malts that really just combined for really what I would almost consider like a porter instead of like a brown ale, because of the richness of the beer. Interestingly enough, I didn't know much about the beer, so while I was drinking it, I actually went on Rate Beer to check it out, and the only thing I could find was Cigar City Maduro Oatmeal Brown Ale. Now, this doesn't say anything about oatmeal on the bottle whatsoever, but I couldn't find anything that described just the regular Maduro Brown Ale. And also looking at the image of the bottle that's on there, maybe this is an oatmeal brown ale. They just don't spell out that it's made with oatmeal. And if that is the case, that would explain that like smoky like quality that I got, and also that like stickiness in the tongue that I was talking about earlier. And that also would probably explain why the beer is so much better than your typical brown ale, because it's not your typical brown ale after all. But whatever the case may be, whether it's a typical brown ale, the way a regular brown ale is brewed or not, this is the way brown ale should taste. This is nice, this is enjoyable, it's full flavored. It really brought out some of those tremendous qualities of what a brown ale should be, with that nice smokiness and those dark malts. And if I was to ever recommend a brown ale to somebody, this would be the place that I would start, because this is a much better brown ale than I've ever had, bar none. Is it the best beer I've ever had in the world? No. It's still a good beer, but it probably is the best brown ale I've ever had. And I really enjoyed it, and I thank the people who recommend me trying this if I ever got my hands on it. If there is any complaints about it, is that it actually was a little bit too much carbonated. I probably would like my brown ale a little less carbonated, but by all means, it's not hurting the overall enjoyment of the beer either. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and do my final chug and then give you my final thoughts and grade. Tough with this honker. Oh, a little bit of a struggle there. As far as final thoughts and grade, I'm not going to call this an excellent or top-notch beer, because I think there's other beers out there that have given that distinction that are way better than this. But this is still a very good beer, and that's the grade I'm going to give it. Very good. And without a doubt, up to this point, the best brown ale I've ever had. So, again, that was the Cigar City Maduro Brown Ale with a score of very good. And until next time, thanks for watching.